Darcy, darling.
Huh?
Were you expecting a package?
A package? No.
So you go ahead and ask them about the package, which I will go grab, actually.
What?
Oh, thank you, Matt Mercer. And that's exactly how I was sent this package from Sean Gilmore of Gilmore's Glorious Goods.
You have entered a realm of mystery. Welcome to Gilmore's Glorious Goods!
And just before we open it up, I really want to say thanks to the folks at Darrington Press who totally unexpectedly reached out to send something, and a huge thank you to you, because when I started this channel like 5 years ago, I wanted to help people have more fun playing RPGs and maybe one day cover the cost of a new RPG book now and again. So this is wild, and it's because of your support, and I know a lot of folks here will want to see this one. So if you've seen my one other unboxing video on this channel, or the many I've done on Patreon, you know that I like to try to open boxes with this terribly rusty and definitely a little bit dangerous bayonet. And yeah, I really didn't know about the Sean Gilmore gag here with the address, because the only other Critical Role book we have was purchased from a friendly local game store. All right, thank you once again. Oh my gosh. Spoiler, yes, this is Candela Obscura. 6 standard dice and 3 gilded dice. And the main attraction, bada bing, there it is. Oh man, Candela Obscura core rulebook. Oh sheesh. Dude, there's 2. Oh my gosh. They also sent the limited edition one. That is sick. Thank you. All right, we gotta check these out. Enter a gilded world of terrifying magic with a K, guys. In this tabletop role-playing game, join Candela Obscura, a paranormal secret society charged with protecting the Fairlands and its sprawling turn-of-the-century capital known as New Fair from supernatural incursions. Occult mysteries emerge in this metropolis built atop the ruins of an ancient fallen civilization still teeming with the remnants of powerful magic. So unlike D&D, which most Critical Role fans and most RPG players are familiar with, Candela Obscura is a D6 dice pool game, so that's why we get these really cool dice. But to be clear, you can use any D6s you have. My group has played Candela Obscura already, and we didn't have these yet. It's kind of like one of those packs of gum. Man. All right, that last one was tight. Let's just see. Whoa, 5/5 and gilded? Wait, is that a 1? No, that's a 6. All right, so those 3 are good. Dude, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. These are some good D6s. I like how it's kind of the classic pip style, and maybe we'll mention briefly here the difference between your regular die and your quote-unquote gilded die, but that's something I've already gone over in the actual whole video I made about the rules of this system a while ago, so I will link that down in the description and probably up in the cards right here. But for this video, we're going to be doing a quick flip through of these books just to get a sense of what's offered in the full package versus the free quick start guide, which that previous video focused on. Now, one of the first things that I noticed about this book was the size of these books. And I really don't know if anyone else cares about this, but yeah, Candela Obscura is basically graphic novel size. And I like that because when I found out that this was going to be another 200-page rule book, it was like, man, I thought this was kind of a rules light game, so it bummed me out a little bit. But then I realized, oh wait, duh, they're probably not using standard D&D size 200 pages. So yes, this is a rules light book, and as we flip through, you're gonna see that. But before we do, the exterior, things you might notice about these 2 books, the special edition has kind of a faux leather texture to it. You can actually feel something there. We get that beautiful and thematic gilding to the artwork on it. But the standard version also has a little bit of texture and a little bit of reflection to the artwork there. And it's a good weight for being a slightly smaller size book, definitely due to these hefty pages in here. That'd be a lot tougher to rip than your average D&D book page. But the thing that my brain immediately jumps to is, whoa, 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 this is a book with a ribbon. And a ribbon means the people who made this book really care, because it just makes it so much easier to use and find your place later. And last thing before we dive in, on the back of the standard, we see that, at least in the US, this book typically goes for about $40, so a little bit cheaper. Actually, now that D&D book prices have gone up, significantly cheaper than those as well. And one more thing, but it's really cool. Just for you, our friends at dScryb are starting their Black Friday sale over a week early. So right now, you can use code BOB to save a ridiculous 43% when you sign up for any annual subscription. Do the Hero plan to access all of dScryb's thousands and thousands of professionally written scenes of box text and their interactive maps, or Composer to access their sonic library of music, ambiance, and sound effects, all compatible with Foundry VTT, or Celestial, which includes everything. 43% off all of it. It's an amazing deal, so check it out through the link below, and remember to use the affiliate/discount code BOB. Thank you. But now let's see what the standard edition has to offer. Credits to our lead designers, Spencer Stark, Rowan Hall. Credits to Taliesin Jaffe, to your boy Mike Mercer. Brennedly Mulligan apparently gets a special thanks. That's special. And sure, take a glance at our table of contents, but we are just going to be doing a sort of fast flip through. Beautiful full page art of a wonderful nameless horror, a nameless thing, if you will. But that begins our introduction of the game. You have entered a gilded world of terrifying magic, always with a K. Yeah, Candela Obscura is really glued to its themes, but I love it. And the rules. There are only a few core rules within this world that should not change. That is to say, when reading through the rest of this book, remember, this is your game. And this is all in the quick start as well. So if you really just want to take Candela Obscura and run with it, take these, 12 rules and just go, get the free quick start on DriveThruRPG. And I really like how they included these touchstones. Basically, D&D's Appendix N, the inspirational material for the game. It looks like we have that here in the form of books, comics, films and TV, and video games that all inspired what this game is and how it works. But the core system, so this is the section that we are mostly going to glaze over here because, again, made a whole video about it. But I guess for a real quick review, it's a dice pool system. You're going to be rolling a number of d6s based on how many of these little dots are filled in for your character, because your character is going to be better at some things and worse at others. And that really is pretty much the core rule. So let's move along to making characters, sure. So here we have all our different roles. Like this is the face, and it has these two specialties, journalist and magician, portrayed beautifully in these tarot card style designs. And together your role and specialty determine how many dice you're rolling for each of those skills. And it looks like each of our roles and specialties have special abilities as well. But that is a pretty short section, and then we get into how to play. So some general rules. Play guidance. Play to find out. Ooh, yeah, that's very important in a mystery game. You're not just asking the GM every question. You're having your character do the things that you think they would need to do in order to collect information. And here's one other thing about characters I really want to point out. Each role/specialty has its own set of goals called illumination keys. And this is fantastic roleplay fodder. For example, the muscle role explorer should always be trying to study an artifact, discuss history, and run into danger. And the weird occultist wants to consult arcane texts, collect oddities, and act bizarre before jumping right into, oh my gosh, that's a little disturbing. Jumping right into a section called the supernatural world. So what does that leave us with? Our actual rules total 64 pages, and that's what I like. It's rules light, but there's just enough there that you can really dig in and crunch if you want to. But you could be like comfortably reading those 64 pages in what, I don't know, a couple hours? In an afternoon, in an evening by candlelight. And this is a good time to remind ourselves, look at all these handwritten notes that I've just been totally skipping during this review here. I imagine there's lots of interesting lore tucked into these, and even Easter eggs and things that are gonna connect throughout the book because that's what Critical Role does so well. Weaving a story over the course of some longer duration. That's what they do. All right, lore about the organization, Candela Obscura itself. Man, and I really love this artwork. Like a ballpoint pen sketch of this guy, handwritten notes on some crumbling parchment, courier new typeface letters. It's just good stuff. And now starting on page, what, we're about 90 here, the Fairlands begin. So this is the world of Candela Obscura. And then, okay, yeah, for these other sections of the city, we have points of interest, an example assignment, and just a general description of it. We get into Old Fair here, which, as I understand it, is this ancient city that's buried under the city of New Fair. The Haven Hills, the Scarlet Wood. That's very interesting to me. I've made my own homebrew forest called the Sanguine Wood, because who doesn't want a forest that is red all year round? All right, let's just look at a couple details here. The Scarlet Wood is known, as its name implies, for the massive red-leaved trees that populate its sprawling forest at the base of the Bridleborn Mountains. These trees, oh no, guys, do they have a science consultant on here? This is such a silly nitpick, by the way, but in any scientific name, the first word, typically the genus here, should be capitalized, and then only the species name is lowercase. Man, Darrington Press, I'm available if you need a consultant for any of your future publications. Let me know. Okay, and then about 160, we get to running the game. So that was really, what, 70 pages of world lore? Using countdown dice, is that like timers? That's cool to see. And then some sample assignments. So we have the Light Eater of Bridleborn. Oh, wow. That's really short. Yeah, I'm a big fan. 3 pages of actual text. Like, you can prep this assignment in less than an hour, easily. I mean, and that's exactly what I did when I ran this game in October. I reviewed my video about the rules, a little bit of another video about the rules, I think the official one, and then I just read the assignment in the Quick Start Guide, made an index card's worth of notes, and that was it. And my players had a great time. I should mention that if I didn't already. But one other note about the assignments I really want to point out, where it just in bold tells you at the end of each section here, the reveal. This is the one piece of information that your investigators need to come away with before they move to the next scene. Like, more than this just only being 3 pages, the fact that it pulls out these key pieces is what makes this easy to read and run. So 4 of those 3-page assignments, and then it looks like the premise for like 6 more, and then just some quick reference GM resources. NPCs with names and short descriptions, additional gear, that's cool. Artifacts, more creatures, again, not stat blocks, people. Just little paragraphs about each one. And then bang, the quick reference rules right in the back. That is so nice. And what's this? Amelia Ashford, why do I know? I think that's a name mentioned in the Quick Start Guide. So actually, that's what I was saying before. Critical Role, the people who put this stuff together, like, they are writing a story within a story here, and it's going to take the true deep lore Critical Role fans to get to the bottom of this, but I'm excited to see where it goes. If you're in the market for a horror game that's easy to read, easy to run, easy to jump in and play in less than an hour after you watch my video about the rules linked on your screen here, yeah, this is a good game to scratch that itch. It really worked out well for my players, and I hope you enjoy it too. And once again, huge thanks to both you and Darrington Press for the support. Keep building.